Hey, fat people know they fat. You hear me? Fat people are aware that they are fat. So when you see people this season, this Christmas season, let me tell you the appropriate greetings. It is, how you doing? Long time no see. How are the children? How is the parents? It is not. It is not. Oh God, you get so fat. Hey, keep that opinion to yourself. Got people walking around feeling bad for no reason. Do you not understand that food tastes good? That's why people are putting on weight now. We have the mirror. We know. We just choosing to eat the chicken wings. We're just choosing to eat the loaded fries. We're just choosing to eat the barbecue. There was a gastronomy festival that just passed. Okay? It just passed. And do you know what we did the whole weekend? We ate. Yes, we eat. And when you eat, you put on weight. You put on the weight. So stop fixing out your face. Okay, you put on so much weight. Okay, and it's the face that is made now. You put on so much weight. Now they gotta crank back. As in this so shock. Like, oh, that's what you shocked about? Not the GB bill, but my weight. And another thing, if you see people get small too, instead of being like, oh my God, they get so small, like whenever it's about weight. Listen, do you know what causes people to lose weight? To get small. Look, there's the lose weight when you want to be healthy, but there's the lose weight when you're stressed. Okay? There's the lose weight when you're sad because you're not eating. You know, some people, when they're sad, they eat. They got some people, when they're sad, they cannot eat. So, other than being Weight Watchers police, just say season greetings. That's it.
When you haven't seen somebody for a long time, the next time that you see them, you recognize almost everything that is changed or something that are new about them. And for some reason, that happens to be your weight. In my opinion, it's just objective truth. What people are seeing for the time being. It's like for me, there are some friends who haven't seen me for such a long time, people that I've known haven't seen for such a long time. And then when the moment they see me, they recognize, okay, my head now is bald. That's something that is normal because people just basically recognize the changes that you've been through after not being with you or haven't seen you for such a long time. And definitely I want to say this, fit people love to eat too. It's just that we have something that we call self-control, or at the same time, we manage self-control with going to the gym or basically being active, physically active by doing sports. And these are the things that we do to actually keep our body in check. Because one thing is for sure is that it's highly unlikely that you'll go around the world and find people who doesn't love to eat. Don't get me wrong, because there are some people in the world who basically don't like to eat, or not really to say that they don't like to eat. It's more that they probably are going through a stressful moment or a hard time in their lives, and that makes them, distracted from eating food, or food is not something that is calling them, or they're just basically not in the mood for it. The real issue here, what most plus size people need to focus on, is portion control and lack of physical activity of movement, or such as exercise or even doing a sport. This is something that is actually missing, that's causing your body to basically put on the extra pound or put on the extra kilos. A lot of people can say, I've seen this video and I went through the comment section, a lot of people were saying food is not the only cause that could make someone become overweight or basically fat. And I do agree with that, and to a certain level, because one thing is for sure, if you go into a medical situation, yes, it can definitely cause you to gain the weight if you're taking certain medication. But how often does that actually happen? Most people who are overweight, or most people who are having weight challenges, is not due to medication that they are taking. There are a small percentage of people who are actually, going through this, but it's not the general norm. And one thing that I want to mention also is that a woman's world is very different, because as men, we are more prone to physicality, or such as being physically active or physically engaging. That's why sometimes they will give boys ADHD drugs in order to make them calm down, because they say probably they are going through hyperactivity. It is a key differences between the sexes, between men and women, because the ladies live more of a sedentary lifestyle. So socializing really doesn't always include physical activity. Mostly what it includes is sitting down and having something to drink and having something to eat. The ladies do also love dancing or doing these things that are physically engaging, but not as much as women do. Another thing I want to mention is that having babies definitely plays a huge part when it comes to the women gaining extra weight after the baby. They call it baby weight after, the baby. That's something that is definitely, as men, we do try to understand to our best abilities, because if that wasn't the case, there wouldn't be skinny men with women who, after they've given birth, they've gained the weight or put on some extra weight. This is something that, you know, these men also have to deal with. But still, ladies, you have to make the effort. You have to make the effort to get the exercise if this is something that you want. Because one thing is for sure, the way that your body is, you can always change it. That's one thing that we definitely can change. A lot of time people will say you cannot change ugly, but with modern technology and plastic surgery, that's not really the case. But staying on topic, when people say these things all of the time, maybe sometimes it can be a reflex. They're just like shocked. They're just surprised that, okay, this is what you turn out to be. I do understand sometimes people can be, you know, a-holes. They need to try to have control over what they are saying. But also we have to keep in mind that even as you, everyone judges each other to a certain degree. And there are certain things that you can say to people, whether you're skinny, fat, doesn't matter. That could be somewhat, you know, hit a nerve. The best thing we can do as an individual is try to process the things that we're hearing from people in a way that is not gonna be, you know, weighing us down too much. Just like I said earlier, for the ladies who live a more sedentary lifestyle and due to having babies, they tend to put some extra weight over time. If you're a guy, if you're a man, what is your excuse for being fat, for having that extra weight? Because I think as a man, you should have limited excuse when it comes to your weight, because definitely that's something that you can change. And again, people, whenever they say, they crank back and try to say, okay, wow, you gained some weight. Oh, wow, you know, things have changed in some ways. I don't think their intention is so bad, to be honest. I think it's just they are speaking their minds and it comes out in the wrong way, or it just hit a nerve. The question I gotta ask, how much food is enough? Because everything in life we have to balance. Everything in life we have to keep limiting ourselves. So you're telling me that it's almost impossible for you to control how much food that you're gonna eat. Okay, let's say you cannot control how much food you're gonna eat because it's so good, or you haven't eaten this dish for such a long time. What about the other side? Because what you put in your body is gonna not only go through, you know, the number two, you're gonna have to do something to actually burn it out. I don't think the problem is all in the eating part, although nutrition is a big part if you're trying to get your body in shape, but it's also the other side, which is physical activity and exercising. Again, the last thing I want to mention is that we can't go through life expect people to just speak or just be how we want them to be. That's gonna be an impossible battle for you to have. It's best that you try to better yourself. It's best that you try to, first of all, be honest with yourself. One thing is for sure, people are gonna always speak their mind. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.